With his family looking on and protesters chanting outside, Justice Brett Kavanaugh was sworn in at the Supreme Court following a dramatic few weeks. Tomorrow night, there will be a ceremonial swearing in at the White House, and Justice Kavanaugh is expected to begin work this week. Hours after his confirmation vote, President Trump was at a rally in Topeka, Kansas, and he railed against Democrats for trying to stop the nomination. He said they've become like an angry mob. Overall, his mood was celebratory. Here's more of what he said.
I stand before you today on the heels of a tremendous victory for our nation, our people, and our beloved Constitution. Just a few hours ago, the U.S. Senate confirmed Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the United States Supreme Court.
While Justice Kavanaugh and his family were inside the Supreme Court building for that private swearing in, there were angry crowds outside carrying signs and chanting. They were still trying to be heard just outside the building. Miguel Marquez was there, and he shows us how police responded to this chaotic scene.
So it was anger, tears, and defiance as Brett Kavanaugh was being confirmed in the Senate, and then it turned into civil disobedience and some pretty hairy moments here in front of the Supreme Court. I'm going to show you sort of what is happening here now. Police officers from both the Supreme Court and the Capitol Police moving a barrier across the front area of the Supreme Court, trying to move everybody out. After some tense moments, the crowd that had been here much of the day moved up onto the steps and then right to the doors of the Supreme Court itself. They were pounding on the doors. About 12 members of the Supreme Court police formed a wall along that door, keeping the protesters from getting to the doors. The point, they say, is that their frustration with this nomination process, they want to make sure that Brett Kavanaugh, who they believe was in there being sworn in at the time the protest was happening, actually heard their protest. They also chanted, "We believe survivors," as that swearing in was going on. The other theme for the day, and what protesters have been chanting, we've heard it on the Senate floor as well, is that remember in November. They want to take the anger that they have here and turn it into votes on November 6th. Miguel Marquez, CNN, Washington.